Yo, Mike, check. What up, man? What's going on, man? Going to do a little stream because I noticed something. What I noticed, shout out to everybody. Fair use. YouTube, and wherever else I post this. What's up? So, what I noticed, good ass cut. One of my go-tos right here. I think the feds don't really have a good case, man. Honestly, I don't think they got a case, man. I don't think they got a case because they're doing cell searches and stealing this guy's paperwork. And you're stealing this paperwork for what? If your shit is solid, you ain't got to steal this paperwork. You already got it, right? They raided both his houses in March, right? So that's April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. They don't sift through all of these recordings and videotapes and all of this stuff, and they say they got something to lock him up on. So they go and they lock him up. Nobody else. So they do the little tactics, the little scare tactics. Some people fell for it. Some people didn't. Like, oh, we seen you on these tapes. You better come forward. And just they ain't got to come forward. You got them on the tapes. Go get them, right? But you only got Diddy. You only locked him up. Wow. So you only lock him up. You say you got him. You charge him with three charges, right? Sex trafficking of victim one, racketeering, and facilitating prostitution, some shit with prostitution. They don't put nothing about the drugs. They don't put nothing about the guns. They claim the guns, but he can have guns. That's one. Right? You gotta think it was like three of them were like defaced or whatever. All right. But that wasn't in there. Wasn't charged with that. All right, so he's locked up. You blow the smoke up people's ass. You're making it sound like you got motherfuckers on tape and they need to come forward because they committed a crime. But if they committed a crime, you would have went and locked their ass up when you went and locked Diddy up after the 6 months of investigation, right? But you didn't. Denied his bail twice. Although he's giving you sufficient fucking sufficient things that'll say that he won't leave. Everybody surrendered their passport. Everybody co-signed for that $50 million. He said he'll pay for the GPS. He'll pay for the fucking security. No internet, right? No phone. So nobody can say he's reaching out to any victims or witnesses. All right. Still denied his bail. The guy who was fucking them Airbnb Fitch models $10 million bail. The mafia that you equated him to, you gave him bail. Now, you raid his cell. Cell search. You don't need probable cause to do a cell search. You can do a cell search whenever you want. Cool. So, in the cell search, it turns out that they took some paperwork and gave it to federal prosecutors and somebody else. So you went in the cell, you took something, and you knew exactly who to give it to. Me being an ex-correction officer, I know that when we do cell searches, the only time we confiscate your legal documents or any type of documents is if it's gang affiliated. We'll take them documents, we'll send it to security. Security will analyze it and see if they should label you as a SRG, a security risk group. Other than that, the only time they should be confiscating any type of documents is if it's got something with your picture on it. You can't have something with your picture on it. You can't. If it's more than a cubic foot high, they could confiscate it. He's been there a month. I'm sure he doesn't have all of that yet. So you went in there looking for that shit. Why would you go looking for that shit? And then give it to the feds and the prosecutor. I mean, that leads me to believe one of two things. One, you don't have anything. You need more. Or two, there's somebody working at that jail who was trying to be a bootlicker and figured you would get some kudos if you went in there and you got something to give to the prosecutor. But it could be that, but I don't think you got anything. Because you had all those tapes and you still need more tapes. You got this guy who says he's got some tapes. You send people over there to get the tapes because you need more tapes. Your case ain't solid. I think you're afraid he's about to give y'all another L right after Young Thug. So let's take a look at this. Let's see here. Feds raided my cell. All right. So Diddy's legal team says Fed raided a cell, seized a bunch of privileged materials, including notes to his lawyers about his upcoming trial. Right. So the notes he was supposed to be giving to his lawyer, this guy right here, y'all took. All right. Although I don't recommend this guy for Diddy. But so your lawyer Mark claims they just found out Friday night that prosecutors are in possession of client privileged material that was seized from the cell, blah, 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 blah. Privileged materials include handwritten notes to his legal team concerning defense witnesses and defense strategies for his upcoming trial in May. All right. Feds already admitted to possessing notes recovered from Diddy's cell. And he says the search and seizure violates Diddy's 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. I don't think this is really going to stand up because, they don't need a probable cause to search. Right. So that's out of it. But them taking his personal shit, and giving it away, yeah, you might be able to get him on that. All right. So, what's more, Diddy's legal team says the notes were taken from his cell and turned over to the trial prosecutors, and who believes he may use the material in legal filing to keep Diddy behind bars, right? So his attorney asked for an immediate hearing. Feds want to answer. He wants Feds to answer who authorized the cell search, who determined what materials to take, and who decided to give the materials to the U.S. Attorney's Office and trial prosecutors, and who decided not to tell Diddy about the seizure. Wow. Okay, let's see what they're saying here.
First open ear
I was at one of P. Diddy's freak offs.
You saw celebrities there that you recognized.
It was a rapper that we all know.
Targeting Diddy, and that this was
his legal strategy, that he had notes about his legal strategy in this case, and that is privileged information. And according to his lawyer, the lawyer believes that the prison officials gave all of that to prosecutors, which would be unbelievable if that actually happened. So that is the allegation that Diddy's lawyer is making. The feds have just answered what they say actually went down. And I got to tell you, there's some of this that doesn't make sense.
but they say this was not a raid targeting Diddy, and that this was a pre-planned sweep. In fact, they say it was planned before Diddy even got into that, because he got there in September.
Now, we should say that the feds are saying
It's bullshit. That's bullshit. You don't pre-plan a search months in advance, right? Let me see how they could lie about this. So they could say that they have a schedule, right? You could have a rotating schedule. But when I worked on the island, those cell searches were like, if a certain unit was causing a ruckus or whatever, we would go and search them. They did have a schedule, but that schedule was not like months in advance. According to him, he said that particular cell unit was to be searched before Diddy even got in there. Diddy been in there for a month. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. What's next?
say that the prison is saying, yeah, I mean, he got in, he came to us in September, long before we planned this raid for the safety of the inmates and the staff. Well, one question is this: if they're concerned about the safety and the staff and say this is back in June, why are they waiting 5 months to conduct the raid? So that part, honestly, to me, doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
I don't understand how they. I'm not going to pretend I know how the administration of MDC Brooklyn goes down. So
they can go in whenever they want. They don't need a search warrant.
They can.
Right.
And they wait 5 months and they're worried about safety. So that part's not working. But there's something more fundamental, Derek.
Yeah, what they're saying in this document is also that they believe that Diddy, and this relates to the bail hearing, is trying to intimidate witnesses and maybe obstruct justice in some ways. And they say he's been using the monitored telephone lines in the prison as well as the text messages system in the prison. And they are referencing this about the bail hearing, but they're doing it in this motion about this sweep. And when they went into his cell, they said they looked at a bunch of stuff. They said on his bunk was a manila folder titled legal. It had the word legal on it. They said they felt it for contraband, but then put it to the side because they said this must be a legal document. This is probably privileged. We're not even going to look at it further. But then they saw an address book and a notebook. And what they did was they took pictures of that address book and notebook, and they turned those pictures of those items over to a filter team, which is looking to see whether items are privileged. And the filter team went through it. They say they redacted the stuff, and then what was redacted, the redacted materials, were then turned over to prosecutors.
So
they did turn over documents to prosecutors.
They turned over photographs from the notebook, which they said contained information about music and whatnot. Here's the thing about it: if they say this is a general raid that was not targeting Diddy, that was planned long before Diddy came in, why in the document the feds just filed, why did they start by talking about these suspicious third-party communications that Diddy specifically is having almost using that to justify what they did in his cell. They're saying,
well, hold on. What is the motion that they've filed?
they didn't file a motion. It's a response to the allegation by Diddy's lawyer that they have seized privileged information about his legal strategy. And I'm not understanding.
So
if they are saying this was a general raid, why are they so specific about the alleged misdeeds of Diddy behind bars? I'm just having trouble with that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's been using monitored lines and maybe they learned some information and then wanted to look further into that. But to your point, that wouldn't be necessarily a pre-planned raid. The problem with this, though, is they don't really need a justification. It doesn't need to be pre-planned. They can go in and toss his cell if they think he's intimidating witnesses.
Unless they're giving prosecutors the defense's legal strategy. And then it's a huge problem, which is what Diddy's lawyer is saying.
You're 100% right. That would be gigantic prosecutorial misconduct and really grounds to dismiss the case if they overreach in those ways. So they're saying, we certainly didn't do that. We did this above board and by our protocol. But it remains to be seen what the judge thinks of all this.
Alana Nicole from Los Angeles. And Harvey, I agree with you. This whole thing sounds like a mess. I feel like it's kind of like a cover-up on the Fed side. And I don't really know what's going on. And I've seen enough crime TV to know that something's not right here.
I get it. You watch a lot of Dateline. I get it. So
maybe
do I.
Law and Order, mixing some Law and Order in there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, baby. Yeah. So that was that, right? The next one up. So after that, they pretty much had a quick hearing after that. Judge orders prosecution to destroy notes from raid, get rid of them, right? So the feds raid on the cell, inconsequential for now, as the judge sided with the rapper's defense after hearing arguments from both sides. Had a hearing on Tuesday. Diddy's defense team accused prosecutors of obtaining privileged material in an unlawful raid. What else? So, of course, the prosecution is going to deny intentionally seizing 19 pages of legal notes. The judge, Arul Subramanian, ruled they would need to destroy copies of the papers obtained in the search, saying they should not consult the material until he made the final decision whether they could be used in the trial. So he said, get rid of them. The prosecution previously defended the raid. They defended the raid was justified due to Diddy allegedly trying to influence witnesses and prosecutive jurors with his antics behind bars. Yet the Bad Boy Records founder's attorney felt the search violated many of the stars' rights. Yeah, they are good for violating rights because they don't know how to just. I don't know why they would do that. And expect it not to come out. Like, they had to expect something. They had to have known that was going to come out. The defense also accused feds of seizing attorney-client privilege material from material relating to sex trafficking racketeering trial, but the prosecution defended that most of the material was personal to the music mogul. Okay. Yeah, they are completely. They're completely fucking their own case up. As in the beginning of the video, I stated, they don't have enough on them. I was laughing with Sandra in the comments. They need more tapes. Somebody needs more tapes. Somebody needs more evidence, more solid evidence. I'm under the assumption that these videos that they have, you cannot determine whether or not the participants are underage You cannot determine whether or not somebody was being forced. You probably didn't even see someone spiking bottles or drinks or anything. You don't have any video of that. You don't have any video of somebody allegedly putting GHB in any bottles or anything like that. So how do we know that those bottles were infected? Do you even have bottles of liquor in possession that was tested and has GHB in it? You don't got no case. The only thing you got is a bunch of angry motherfuckers who got a chip on his shoulder and is willing to say anything. All of your witnesses are not credible, man. They're either fucking prostitutes or ex convicts that are upset with him. And also new in this case, we have the lawyer who started that line, the Tony BUZBEE guy. He is being sued by one of the people he's accusing. Right, he's being accused of extortion. So a Texas attorney repping more than 120 of alleged victims is firing back at a lawsuit accusing him of extortion. He says he won't be intimidated or have his client silenced. But he was accused of contacting one of these stars and trying to extort them, saying that, yo, if you don't fucking say this, we're gonna bring you up on these charges. So BUZBEE is being sued by a prominent individual identified only as John Doe, who claims BUZBEE is shamelessly trying to shake him down by threatening to file a lawsuit packed with false allegations, right? So yeah, so that's how this is going. They've even sent a private investigator to really try and dig up some more info here. Check this out. So we've got TikTok comedy influencer says PIs approached him about Diddy. Nervous over all the celebs I've name dropped. Okay. TikTok alleges they showed up at his house to dig dirt on celebs tied to Diddy. Blah, blah, blah. He caught on camera making it clear the whole thing has him pretty shaken. So let's see what's up here. Let's see.
Asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue. Is this?
Hold on.
I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue. Is this? This is frightening. I think. Can you guys step away from my home?
Well, we're in a public street, so the answer is no. But I'm not. Listen, I'm really not trying to give you a hard time.
Why are you here? What do you mean? You're showing up at my house.
We're very nice and respectful, and we will be. I just have two quick questions for you, and if you want to be interested in it, great. If not, I'll have a nice day. We're not.
What is this? This is odd.
So
you have to admit this is very weird.
It always is, and people always ask us the same questions. I'm happy to explain to you. So
what?
very simply, we were just hired to speak to a few people that do have followers and stuff like that on different platforms.
What is this about the Diddy stuff I report on?
Somewhat, yes.
Wow.
Not necessarily Diddy stuff, but people are involved in just stuff like that. So basically, a very simple question is are you paid to influence that's stories like that in any direction?
No, not at all.
That's all we wanted to know. Because if the company is, they're looking into people who are.
Are you guys gonna pay me for this visit? Like, this is frightening. Like, I'm super. You have to admit, if I came to your house, and like, I thought this was a joke. I thought I have a friend coming over business right now. Like, this is extremely weird for me. I have 100,000 followers. I'm not making any money.
That's one of the reasons why we're here, and that's the question that we're asking. If someone contacts you, say, in the last 6 months and is paying you to influence in a certain way.
No.
Either one way.
Is it illegal if somebody would have?
So the answer is no.
Okay, I wish somebody would have. I'd love to be making real money off this.
Let me talk for 2 seconds. I'll explain to me. Try to make you feel better.
I mean, this is terrifying.
Very simply, if somebody was paying you,
right?
The company we work for are just asking that question.
Right.
If somebody was, they would just be willing to possibly offer you money to know who and see what's going on.
Well, they're paying me $1 million. Will you guys give me $2 million? I'm joking. But seriously, this is very odd, you guys. You guys came to my house. It makes me feel slightly good that maybe I'm getting some notoriety for this, but this is crazy.
So again, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So apparently there's tons of things influencing going around.
Okay.
A huge percentage of it is all bots, not real.
Interesting. No, I'm real. Anything I report on about Diddy is coming from what other influencers, what news articles, and I'm a comedian. I put my spin on it, but nobody is paying me to do that.
I've seen it and I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very simple that if it was the fact that somebody was paying you,
right,
people who were getting some negative, talk,
would be interested in
finding that out and possibly going action either against that person or.
Am I at any danger for doing this?
Zero. The only time you would ever have any liability is if you said, "I know for a fact this person raped it."
No, no. All of I'm satire. I'm a comedian.
And you say allegedly.
I always say, wow. I'm shocked that this is. I've never had fans come visit me. I'm just filming you guys because this freaked me out.
I'll tell you why. Because everything you do is real. And so many things are just bots.
Right.
So we got a list of about 15 people.
Interesting.
That only post themselves.
Wow.
And we're just trying to find out if people are paying for the story to be
pushed. Got it.
Listen, everybody talks about it.
Okay.
I'm not an influencer whatsoever.
Right.
Guess what? Me and my friends talk about it once in a while.
Right.
Oh, you got
right, and I understand. I'm not looking to spread misinformation, and TikTok docks you very quickly. If I've had videos that are like, oh, that sounds threatening or this and that, but well, can I get your guys' information just so if I have something that comes up, I can contact you guys?
So to be honest,
no,
we can't give out a company because
they
don't want to be linked to anybody.
Got it.
My name is Robert James.
Robert.
Peter Deegan.
Okay, cool. This is crazy.
Agreed. And again, we were going to sit here.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's my cat Crunchy. I hope my wife is impressed. I mean,
I
just hope I'm trying to be a successful comedian. I would love, but it is freaky that you guys come to my back door. This is kind of crazy.
I don't know where the front door
is. I know, but even my house, even though you guys are able to just find me, is crazy. I mean, I guess it's not.
Well, just Google anybody's name.
I guess I just didn't expect anybody was looking for me at all. So.
That's all.
Okay.
So apparently doing something right because you're getting at least.
Yeah, because you guys are visiting me. I wish you were too high.
Yo, it just hit me, right? He said he has 100,000 followers, and this is the back of his house. This shit is crazy. You would think, man. You would think people are making money on this motherfucker. They ain't making no money, man.
Two hot ladies visiting me now. You guys are pretty yourselves.
I apologize.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much. Is that it?
That's all.
All right.
If you like,
oh right.
Money, we can talk.
No, and I'm also too. I'm a truth seeker, so I couldn't be paid off to have somebody having me. It depends how much money. I guess my wife, would.
Honest,
yeah.
You ain't got no damn wife.
Yeah. And honestly, it's getting people to pay attention. So on TikTok.
All right, so that is what's going on, right? And to me, it's so crazy how people will say that they've been to a Diddy party, you know what I'm saying? And if they have nothing negative to say about it, that's a problem, right? There was a woman who went to a Diddy party. She said she didn't have anything to say about it, and they had a problem with that. So this right here, just to refresh your memory real quick. We're not going to go through it and all that, but just to refresh real quick, right? We got count one right here. Count one, which is racketeering, right? And we'll continue to go down. Let's see here. We're looking for count two. Let's see here. So racketeering charge just includes every entity owned by him. Count two, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. In parentheses, victim one, which we know, just in case you didn't know, victim one is Cassie Ventura, right? And count three, transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay. So these are the only three charges that they booked him on in September. So March, you got April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months they got him on these three charges right here. That was the indictment after the 6 months. And guess what? They still need more tapes. They need more evidence. They're raiding the cell trying to find shit, right? So if we go back to this right here, just refresh this. All right. So we can go, let's see. Believe it's around a 10-minute.
Think scaling your AI pilots is hard? Think again. With Watson X, you can deploy AI across any environment, above the clouds and on lots of clouds. With your secured data on-prem, in real time on center court, and assisting bank tellers on the edge.
10 more seconds of this
Watson X
commercial.
helps you deploy AI wherever you need it, so you can take your business wherever it needs to go. IBM, let's create.
All right. I'm going to go to about...
Kyle and Jackie O's
$10,000 works. For every question you get right, you win $100. But if you get $1,000. So take note, one of the questions on tomorrow's pop quiz will be, which billionaire has Donald Trump appointed as his efficiency
opinion?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that, something bad comes out there, and I'm hearing their stories, and I'm like, what did I
Okay, so listen very carefully.
do? How did I get here? How did I get to this point in my life? What do I need to change in myself to grow? What do I need to do to not put myself in the same position? So that's all you can basically do. Like, I don't like to live in that victimhood, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that there are no victims out there. I'm sure there are victims out there, and I'm hearing their stories, and I have complete empathy for them.
Remember that. She's sure that there's victims out there. She's hearing their stories, and she has complete sympathy for them.
For me, I had a different perspective on it. I do, so I enjoyed my time while living at the mansion, and who you saw is what you got. Like, I was just a fun, wild, young, dumb blonde. and I own it. Like, nothing ever bad happened to me. I'm not saying that nothing bad happened to anybody else.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that nothing bad happened to me.
And you would go to P. Diddy's parties as well back in the day, right?
I remember just going to like one or two, but like, again, like, I had a great time in my youth. Like, I don't really see anything, like, I never saw anything really bad happening around me.
Yeah.
Sex is sex, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. See? So she says that, right? We're going to go over here. I got to cue this up. Okay. So she said that. She acknowledged victims and all of that good shit, right? She said she didn't see anything. To her, sex is sex. She had a good time in her youth. And let me see. Let me go take us around here.
And as well, that's the surprising part.
They do live in Nashville,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
did he have a bit of a British accent? Because
She was talking about her life since. Not really, no, actually, no, not at all.
So she never went, "Hello, Governor, what's
No,
going on
never.
there then, eh?"
No, she did not.
Oh.
Hey, when we were in LA last week, Kendra Wilkinson dropped in, and she was talking about her life since Playboy and also her time at the Playboy Mansion. And since that, the interview seriously went viral, and people have been piling on Kendra for this interview.
Well, what did she do wrong?
They say because she was talking about the Diddy parties.
Yeah.
And they believe that she disregarded Diddy's victims by saying she never saw anything. But they've kind of confused what she said.
So, how could you feel disregarded because she said she didn't see anything when she said that she acknowledges and she sympathizes with it? She's hearing stories and blah, blah, blah. She said that clear as day. So that just goes to show that if you don't say, "Oh, it was horrible," and I saw, I was terrified, I was mortified, and I saw victims, and they were doing it, because she's not saying that. She was forced to clarify her comments. Come on, dog, it's bullshit. So you got a lot of celebs that went out there, like. Everybody knows Diddy likes to, like I always say, 3 things: party, do drugs, and fuck 2 to 3 days straight. So if you don't like to party, do drugs, and fuck 2 to 3 days straight, don't go. It's that simple. Now you got to be careful, because this book right here, which was written by a woman, How to Destroy a Man Now, right? They write books like this to tell you how to leverage allegations and in the media and in law enforcement against men. The power of allegations, right? So they're lining guys up. If you got some fucking dollars, you're a possible mark. Okay. So that's really about it, man. I'm freaking tired, bro. I'm gonna go close out. So just to recap, BUZBEE is being sued. The feds and the prosecutor were ordered to get rid of whatever they found in his cell in those 19 pages. And what else was it? Yeah, that's about it. Right? Let me see. Yeah, I think that's about it. That is the update as of now on the Diddy case, on the Diddy files. You guys know all of this basically took place after a gentleman by the name of the Godfather had passed. The Black Godfather. He was a staple in the music industry. He knew a lot of people in the political world. He's got pictures with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, so on and so forth, right? Very powerful guy. Everybody respected him. They dubbed him the celebrity. After his passing, Diddy actually tried to sue a company by the name of Diageo, who he was getting money with. He was getting money with this company called Diageo, who he was the brand ambassador for Ciroc, and he opened up his own brand called De Leon, which they had negotiated when he first took on the Ciroc project. He said he wanted his own tequila. So they said, yeah, they got him. So he soon found out that there was no agave, which is used to make this tequila. There was no agave planted down there in Mexico for his De Leon. It was agave planted for other brands under De Leon, but there was nothing planted for under Diageo, right? But there was nothing planted for Sean Combs' De Leon. So he was offended by that. He ended up putting in a lawsuit for racist practices and whatnot, and shit just went left right after that. Okay, that's when they stuck their hooks in, and that was it. So I believe that they either want to. This is a picture of Diddy with the Godfather right here. This is the man who Diddy actually said kept him out of jail 2 or 3 times. So that right there should be enough to tell you. When this gentleman died, I think this gentleman died in December or February of 2023. And in September 2024, Diddy was in jail. All right. So that's just how that goes. All right, I'm about to clock out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Be safe. Have a good day.